I shot this video once before, but I pulled it because it had very low views. And I thought that I was going to be able to repost it and put it back up, but it didn't work out that way. It kind of disappeared. It just is what it is, one of those things. Now, hopefully, this video here will get some traction. Now, before we go into this here, I must say, hey, yo, peace. This is your man, L. Judge, coming right back at you with some of that real talk real fast. Now, if you can, make sure you hit like, leave a comment, hit repost. It helps your boy out, and it saves videos. Now, peep gang. Now, I want you to look at this image right here. I want you to soak this in. You see these Tartarian buildings in the background. You see a master mason at the doggone top, the tall giant. You see the other two giants being laborers, and then look down at the bottom. You see small people or humans like us also working. What does this mean? This means that there was a time when the giants and the regular humans worked together. This is why you will see these Tartarian buildings at times, and they would have these massive doors. But if you look real close, you will notice that there's, on the side, there's a door for smaller humans, or right inside this giant door, there would be another door for the smaller humans to enter and to exit. This lets you know that there were different beings of different sizes. Now, how could we have giants at one time? Well, imagine this here. This world used to be an extremely oxygen-rich environment. So that made things grow bigger. Not only people, but it made creatures and insects grow big as well. Now, we had a problem with these giants because all giants were not what you would call civil. Some of them did not live in these metropolises. Some of them lived on the outside of the metropolis. And some of them became known as wild men. Just like we had wild men in our time, they had wild men in their times, but they were giants, and they were eating everything that they can get their hands on. They were just tearing up the doggone world because they were eating way too much. And we were going to starve if they did not get rid of these things. So imagine this here. Other giants were going against those wild giants. And imagine these small people, the so-called regular humans, imagine 50 of them going up against one tall one like that with weapons. Yeah, they could take it down. And they had to, and they did. This is why you hear the stories of giant wars. But you also hear the story of giants consuming humans as well. See, now, just like here, man, we've had many different catastrophes. And then sometimes, man, when we go through these catastrophes, we become animalistic. I'm telling you, the same thing that happened to us, as many of us may have forgotten, and we reclaimed a lot of these buildings that were already there. This occurred with them too as well. And we had already spoke. If you watch my other video when I talked about the bells of Tartaria, go back and watch that video. And we talked about how it could be a frequency that could be used to erase the memory of people. These are things that have happened. You know what I'm saying? If it happened to us, I guarantee you it happened to them. Now, look at these smaller individuals. What are they doing? They are working with the red brick. What is that red brick? That red brick was fused with this stuff called iron oxide. And it gave the brick a doggone electric charge. That's the best way I can put this. Now, the reason how I know this is because I used to pick up this iron oxide from a place in Ohio, and I used to take it to New Jersey to make magnets. I asked them what did they do with that powder. But then I started to find out that in some cases they were mixing it in with that red brick, and that makes sense because they needed that red brick to hold a charge on these buildings. Now look at these two gentlemen right here, the two giants. They're carrying that pillar. They're placing that pillar in place. See, this explains a lot of those giant pillars. And yes, I know. In some cases, yes, they did use pulleys. But I am telling you, those places with those big doors and those places with those giant and massive marble pillars in them, it's quite possible that they were moved by giants just like this here. every now and again, I go to this church called St. Martin de Porres, of course, you know, and they had 24 large pillars, marble pillars, going down, 12 going down each side. And I'm talking about these things are massive. And when you look at this church, you could tell this is an old world building. Because when you look at that cornerstone on that church, it doesn't match the stones used on the building. Now look right here. If you look at the tall giant, you see he has that apron on representing a master mason. What do we say that master masons do? Master masons were here to build mentally, physically, and spiritually. What would make a giant so smart? I want you to think about that. Wouldn't a giant be more intelligent than us? And why would that be? Look at the size of his head. He would have a larger brain, meaning that he would retain way more information than we would. Not only that, imagine if he mastered his mind, because we can look at somebody and they can feel us looking at them. He could transmit doggone energy and manipulate smaller beings. And you don't believe in transmitting energy? Ladies, tell these men out here, when you are walking, especially you sexy ladies, when you are walking, you would feel someone staring at you from behind, and then you would turn around and look them right in their doggone eyes. That's because of an energy transference. You feel their energy looking upon you. Some of you say it feels creepy. Some of them say that you feel kind of, some women say that their body gets hot when men are staring at them. They can tell when someone's gazing at them. But getting back to the matter at hand, giants and humans once worked together. The evidence is there. But anyway, this is your man, L. Judge. I hope I hit all the good points. Peace and blessings. And you tell me, what do you think? I'm out.